If you drop a solid block of steel into the water, it sinks instantly, no hesitation, straight to the bottom. So here's the puzzle. If steel sinks, why do ships made of thousands of tons of steel float so calmly on the ocean? This question confused people for centuries, and the answer has nothing to do with magic, special steel, or luck. It comes down to shape, space, and a quiet rule of physics that's always at work. Let's break it down. Imagine you take a small steel ball and throw it into water. It sinks because it's dense. All that mass is packed tightly into a small space. Now take that same amount of steel and reshape it into a large bowl. Suddenly, it doesn't sink as easily. Why? Because floating is not about what something is made of, it's about how much water it pushes out of the way. This idea is called buoyancy. Whenever you place an object in water, the water pushes back upward. If that upward push is stronger than the object's weight, the object floats. If it's weaker, the object sinks. This upward push is known as buoyant force. Here's the key part. The buoyant force depends on how much water is displaced, not on whether the object is steel, wood, or plastic. A ship floats because it displaces a massive amount of water. Even though the ship is heavy, it spreads that weight over a huge volume. Inside the hull, there's mostly air. That air adds volume without adding much weight. So when the ship sits in the water, it pushes aside a huge amount of water. The water pushes back with enough force to hold the ship up. Now compare that to a solid steel block. It has very little volume for its weight. It displaces only a small amount of water. The water can't push back hard enough, so it sinks. This is why submarines work the way they do. A submarine floats when its tanks are filled with air. It sinks when those tanks are filled with water. The steel never changes, only the amount of water displaced does. The same principle explains why a fully loaded ship sits lower in the water than an empty one. More cargo means more weight. To balance that weight, the ship must displace more water, so it sinks slightly deeper until the forces match again. As long as the ship can displace enough water before the deck goes under, it stays afloat. But once water starts filling the inside, everything changes. Air is replaced by water. The total weight increases. The displaced water stays the same. That's when ships sink. So the real answer is this. Steel sinks. Ships float. Because floating isn't about the material, it's about average density. A ship, taken as a whole, including the air inside it, is less dense than water. And as long as that remains true, the ocean will hold it up. What looks impossible at first is actually a perfect balance between weight pulling down and water pushing back. And every ship at sea is riding that balance every second it stays afloat. If this video made you see something differently, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching.